Good afternoon, y'all. Welcome to another episode of the Sandbox Love Podcast. Happy Family Day to all my people in Canada, and happy President's Day to all my people down south. Let's get into it. Okay, anybody remember that movie called Janky Promoters, starring Ice Cube and Mike Epps? Where these two music promoters now, they never had enough money to pay their artists, or they never had enough money to pay the venue? Well, in this episode, we're going to talk about Janky GM Moves. And, it's been 2 weeks now removed from, the legendary move of Luka Doncic from Dallas to the Lakers. Nico, man, you've done a lot of great things, especially bringing Kyrie over to the Mavericks. But, man, bruh, I got to put you on the Janky GM list, man. If you're going to trade a generational talent like Luka, you got to get more back in the deal. And I hope you definitely will learn from this situation, right? Because, again, you are one injury away from the Mavericks spiraling the second half of the season. You know what I'm saying? So, man, Max Christie is not enough. Great prospect, great young kid. He's actually having a great few games for you guys. But you got to get more back in the trade, man. You got to bring Finney Smith back home, either him or Vanderbilt, one of the two, and maybe a backup big for when Anthony Davis gets injured. And you see he's been injured and he is injured, right? So, Nico, man, I have to put you on a Janky GM's list, man. Like, you got to get more back in the trade. You got to bring Finney Smith home, or you got to get a backup big, but just Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a first-round pick is not enough for Luka Doncic, right? So, Nico, I got to put you on the list, man. Number 2 on my list is your trading partner, Rob Pelinka. I got to put him on the list. And the reason why I got to put him on the list, because he has to get more. And when I say more, you got to get more, right? If you're going to get Luka Doncic, right, wouldn't you not get a lob threat already for him, or a big that he's accustomed to, like Lively or Gafford, either one of the two? And I know Gafford just got injured, but you got to bring one of the two back, right? Why it's a janky move is because now, a few days later now, you realize, hey, Luka needs a big, needs a lob threat. Let's go get Mark Williams. So you call up your old buddy, Mitch Kupchak, the old GM of the Lakers, now current GM of the Charlotte Hornets, and you make another deal. But this time, Rob, you're making a deal with Mitch for damaged goods. At the end of the day, people get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to look at medical records to determine, is this player's good? Can this player compete? And X, Y, and Z. Mark Williams now was injured for quite a bit of time and just recently came back and put together a few good, nice games. And then Mitch tried to sell you a bag of some damaged goods in Mark Williams. Try to finesse you real quick for Dalton Knecht. Listen, Mitch, I ain't mad at you, bro. At the end of the day, you're pairing up LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller with another dead-eye shooter and Dalton Knecht, who will fit perfectly in that number 3 role. Listen, I'm doing that too. I'm trying to fleece them too. But come on, Mitch. You knew that the Lakers, medical staff was going to look at the medical charts and look like, yo, man, this is janky right here. What are you trying to sell us, Mitch? And, that's pretty much why the, trade was rescinded. Dalton Knecht might have feelings. He doesn't necessarily want to, jump right back into the Lakers well, especially when he was a first-round pick. And, you got to watch with these young kids, man, nowadays, these young prospects, man. If they're mentally checked out and they don't want to mess with you, they're just not going to mess with you. And I think, the Lakers have to do a better job of repairing that relationship with Dalton Knecht, because Dalton Knecht thought that he was going to be at least in LA for a few seasons. You just drafted him. You traded him halfway through his rookie season, right? So I understand, the hesitation from Dalton at the end of the day, but I think the Lakers looked around and said, listen, we need shooting more than we need a lob threat for Luka, to be honest with you, right? So the trade being rescinded works for the Lakers 1,000%. And Mitch, man, that's dirty biz. Mark Williams, great young center. I hope he heals up well. But Mitch knew what he was doing. The Charlotte Hornets knew what they were doing, and they tried to pull a fast one, right? So, Mitch, I got to throw you on the Janky GM list as well, So just to review, Nico, you're on the Janky GM list because you should have got more, especially if you're trading Luka Doncic, a generational talent. You got to get more from the Lakers, either Finney Smith or Ryu. You got to get one or two of those players back. Right? Because now you see, hey, listen, Anthony Davis, we don't know when he's going to come back. You don't know when he's going to come back. Now Gafford, your backup big now, is down too. You have to at least get a big man back. Jackson Hayes, something for the Lakers. You have to. That's why you're on the list. Rob Pelinka, you're on the list because you should have got you should have got a big man from the initial hop. Okay, yes, you got happy that you got Luka Doncic. I get it. But you got to get a big man back. Right? In return. You have to, because Luka now is most effective now when he has a lob threat. He has a big. So you got to get more back. So Pelinka, you're on the list as well. And Mitch, Mitch, you're on the list because you try to sell damaged goods. And that's cold business, especially to an organization that treated you nothing but respect, man. You're Lakers forever, right? Once a Laker, always a Laker? What happened? It's all good. Well, thank you for tuning into the podcast. It's Janky Promoters, Janky GM Moves. Thank you for tuning in.